Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
The next meeting, which was supposed to be held on 26th of January, on the eve of Republic Day, the Mekon building will be closed, and so our regular meeting is rescheduled to Tuesday, 27th of January. Hoping to see all our members to attend as usual. And we have some great news. The international speech contest and the evaluation contest has been scheduled for the date of 16th of February. If you want to participate in the contest or be a role taker, please contact our VPE Toastmaster Shreya. Now I would like to hand over the charge to our VPE Toastmaster Shreya to give the role takers announcement.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. For the next meeting, that is 27 January, one speech slot has been booked by Toastmaster Rahul, one evaluation slot has been booked by Toastmaster Ujwal, the MC has been booked by Toastmaster Adishwar, and the table topics master has been booked by Toastmaster Deepa. All the other roles are open, so if you'd like to take something up, please contact me.
One speech you are booked now.
Yeah.
So 2 speech slots have been booked.
2 speech slots have been booked.
Can you read out slowly so that others can understand? Can you read out again so that we can catch on what you are trying to convey?
One speech slot has been booked by Toastmaster Rahul, one more speech slot has been booked by Toastmaster Rekha, one evaluation slot by Toastmaster Ujwal, MC by Toastmaster Adishwar, and table topics master by Toastmaster Deepa.
But MC Adishwar, has he completed
Yeah,
level 1?
Yes, yes.
At least that's the starting point.
Now I would like to ask the sergeant to take over.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests.
Good
evening.
So, before we proceed, I would request everyone to keep your phones on silent. So, today we have a very exciting theme, playing to win. A few years ago, 2-3 years back, I remember I was watching World Chess Championship, and there were 2 opponents, Magnus Carlsen, as you all know, the number 1, and there was another grandmaster called Nepo. I mean, actually, I call him Nepo because I don't know how to pronounce his name. So, of course, he was not on the level of Carlsen, but again, he is in the same bracket and always competing at the highest level. So, when the match was going on, even the commentators and each and every one of us, we were thinking, yeah, this game is surely going to end in a draw. And we were all thinking, okay, there's no twist here. So, and then Nepo actually offered a draw to Carlsen, and Carlsen actually rejected. And actually, Carlsen was not someone who would be happy with the draw. So he kept putting that extra pressure. And see, in a tournament like that at a very high magnitude, one mistake can cost you the entire game, and people will obviously criticize you because everyone is watching. So, but he still took that risk because he was not happy with the draw. So he was playing to win always. And that is the difference. There are people who just like to survive, and there are other people who just don't like to survive, but also they want to thrive in what they do. So it is always important to have that mentality of playing to win. So that being said, let me introduce to someone who is a passionate sports enthusiast. She actively engages in badminton, basketball, and table tennis. Fitness is an integral part of her lifestyle. She's a foodie at heart. She enjoys savoring good food while maintaining a balance through mindful eating. She holds a BCom degree and a degree in interior design from SBM JC. So let's join together and welcome our President Toastmaster Apoorva.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. I see few guests in the room. I request you to stand up from wherever you are. Tell us about yourself and how you got to know about our club.
Hi, my name is Saloni, and I was going through Google and trying to figure out any clubs nearby my house. I've been a part of Toastmasters back in college, and then there was a break after 2017, and I really felt that this is something that I need to come back because I started having these jargons and my communication went down very bad because again I had nobody to speak to. So here I'm back again, and I found you out through Google search.
Hope you have a good time.
Hi, my name is Sumit. I'm my second time here as a guest. I hope to join soon. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening. So my name is Dharmendra, and like I come from a business background wherein I have no one who can I can speak in English. So I was looking for some platform wherein I can have a live interaction in English communication. So for that purpose, I was looking for a number of videos on YouTube. There I got to know about the concept of Toastmaster. Was that I just got a Google search, and this was nearby to my house, so I am here.
Yeah, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. This is Rahul Ramchandran. I have been part of District 98 Toastmasters since 2009. I moved to Bangalore in 2021 and was looking for a club nearby. So I found out about this club from DTM Arjun, and so I have my company BrainQ Digital Training and Coaching Inc. I am into soft skill communication and leadership training, and part time I do career counseling, and I'm helping my brother with client acquisition for digital marketing. Just 1 week back I have started with job placement and training. So looking forward to collaborating with you all. Thank you.
Hi one and all, this is Anusha here. So I got to know about the Toastmasters by one of my colleagues, Ms. Deepa Krishna Reddy. So yeah, I'm here to learn more and to communicate in a better way. So yeah, looking forward to join soon.
Good evening everyone, my name is Ujwal. By profession I am into business development. I am here to improve my public speaking skills. So on the path to searching good public speaking communities, right, I searched for this. So I came across Mekon Toastmasters in a Google search, and that is why I am here. This is my second session. Hopefully I will stick here for long. Thanks.
Hope everybody have a wonderful time in today's meeting. Now I request our Secretary Toastmaster Ujwal to read out the minutes of meeting number 1351.
Namaste fellow Toastmasters, public friends and familiar faces. Here are the minutes of the meeting 1350 held on 12th of January 2026. The theme was Toss the Process, the word of the week at you. The business session started at 6:22 p.m. and was chaired by the President Toastmaster Apoorva TR. The following points were discussed in the business session. Secretary Toastmaster Ujwal attended the Club Officer Training Program on 11th of January 2026. The rest of the club officers will be attending the COTP on 25th of Jan 2026. Sergeant Arms Toastmaster Sachin B started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Apoorva. Toastmaster Apoorva opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Shreya and Rob. Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Shreya and Rob spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Adishwar, R-Counter Toastmaster Saketh, TP Evaluator Toastmaster Darshan, Grammarian Toastmaster Jyothi. The following speakers delivered their prepared speeches. Toastmaster Midhun presented his project in L1P3 from the path Presentation Mastery, evaluated by Toastmaster Ujwal. Toastmaster Deepa Krishna Reddy presented her project in Level 2 Project 1 of Presentation Mastery, evaluated by Toastmaster Raja. The table topic session conducted by Toastmaster Shubha had the following speakers. Toastmaster Shreyas, MU Bhat DTM, Toastmaster Jyothi P, Toastmaster Chetan, Toastmaster Veerabhadrappa, Toastmaster Malagiri Das, Toastmaster C.A. Rahul Gandhi, Toastmaster Rachana Sridhar, A.K. Prabhakara DTM, Toastmaster Darshan Omkar, Toastmaster Madhusudan S, and Toastmaster Adishwar. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Latha Nahar, and the winners of the week were Best Speaker, Toastmaster Deepa Krishna Reddy, Best Evaluator, Toastmaster Raja Prasad, Best Table Topic Speaker, Toastmaster Madhusudan S, Best Role Taker TAPG, Toastmaster Adishwar J, Best Role Taker MTG, Toastmaster Shreya M. The President closed the meeting at 8:25 p.m. followed by the national anthem. Thank you and back to the President.
Are there any amendments proposed for MOM of meeting number 1351? If not, I accept MOM 1351 and open meeting number 1351. Today's theme takes me back to my first year of degree in college. New faces, new people, and I was almost invisible. I barely had any friends, and I almost knew no one. 3 months into my college, the sports department announced about a badminton tournament. Me being a passionate badminton player from a very young age, I wanted to register. But initially I was skeptical. I wasn't sure. My passion pushed me to register for the tournament. Few days in, the tournament kicked off. Day 1 and day 2 of the tournament went by like a breeze. I cruised through all the games, winning it successfully. On day 3, I first played the quarterfinals, won the game, then moved to the semi-finals, won the same and got qualified for the finals. That's when the referee comes over and announces that the finals would be the best of 3 matches and each game will be played for 21 points. He also announces that the match would start at sharp 3:30 p.m. Post lunch is when I got to know some information. I got to know my opponent, whom I was playing the finale with, was Namita, a final year student. She was not an ordinary person. She was a sports star who had won the trophy all the previous years. She was also the vice president of the Commerce Forum and was also extremely pretty, meaning she had her own fan club. Suddenly, all this information was a little overwhelming. As the clock turned 3, my heart started pounding and the tension kicked in. Sharp at 3:30, the referee blew the whistle and the first match began. The scores were neck to neck throughout. It was a very tight match. However, she won the match 21 and I was at 19. Now, it was a do or die situation for me. I had to win this match in order to get qualified, or I would be out of the tournament. I had to not just play the match, I had to play to win the match. The match began and she continued with the lead score. At one point, the points were such that she was at 18 points and I was at 12. Everybody around thought the match would be over like this. She was in the lead. Suddenly, all my friends started cheering for me loudly. And I kept on telling myself, now is the time. I can't give up. I had to play to win. All this suddenly gave me a new zeal of energy. And a long rally took place. And something happened that was so unexpected. I won the match 21 and she was at 19. At the end of this match, I had a sigh of relief. I was glad that the game was still on. We both were really exhausted and were sweating from top to bottom. Seeing our plight, the referee gave a 5-minute break. The third match and the final match began. Both of us refused to give in. The score went neck to neck throughout. If I won 1 point, the next point she would win. And the cycle went on. Everybody stood and watched us play. Then came a point when both of us were at 20 each. That's when the referee announces the game point to win is 23. Again, we both were at 22 each. He comes over again and announces the game point to win is 25. At that time, everyone around were at pin drop silence. Everybody's eyes was on us and they were eager to know who would take the trophy home. Finally, this nail-biting match came to an end with me winning 25 and she being at 23. My friends and I jumped up with excitement and everybody around couldn't believe what had just happened. The next day, this news spread like wildfire and every single person suddenly not just knew me but came and congratulated me in person. Fellow Toastmasters, this trophy, this win, this experience not just gave me recognition, confidence, but a lifelong lesson to take chances, to step up and not to give up when the situation is bad or when the situation where the things are not working for you. You need to focus, play to win, and that's how success will follow. On that note, I would like to introduce someone who's a full stack software developer. He enjoys strategic games like Pokemon and arts. He's an avid reader and a great storyteller. Every time he comes behind the lectern, I look forward to listen to his interesting stories. He is someone who enjoys going for run and swimming. Please welcome the Toastmaster of the day and the treasurer of our club. With a huge round of applause, Toastmaster Chetan.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Let me take you back to 1945. After World War II, Berlin and Germany were split. The Allies had divided it into the East and the West. USSR, or Russia, held the West, held the East, held the East Berlin, and the West Berlin by the rest of the Allies. So, the Soviet Union built the Berlin Wall to make sure nobody crossed the wall. No ideas went from the west to the east, and no people went from the east to the west. And every year, thousands of people would try crossing this wall and die doing so. This wall was so heavily guarded by watchtowers, snipers, people, and landmines. And today, I would like to narrate the story of two people who took their families across this wall. Peter, German surname, was a 37-year-old electrician, and Gunther was a 23-year-old bricklayer. The two of them worked at a plastic mold factory and united over their shared enthusiasm to cross this wall. The two of them found out that there's no way they could go under the wall or through the wall. Their only way was to go above it. And they started brainstorming different ways of doing this. Their first approach was to simply build a helicopter and go over. But then they quickly realized that they could never get an engine of a helicopter because that would flag all kinds of red alarms and they would have been captured. They quickly realized, after doing some math, that they could build a hot air balloon that would take them across. So over the next 1.5 years, Peter and Gunther worked diligently, relentlessly in their free time, and they tested every single material possible to build such a balloon. So after 15 months of effort, they came up and finding 800 meters of cotton cloth, they managed to stitch together a single balloon and managed to build their own flamethrowers to heat the air hot enough to actually fly the balloon itself. So one thunderstormy night at 2 a.m., Gunther, Peter, and their two families decided to jump on the balloon and actually take the flight. The balloon took off, rising at about 5 meters a second. It reached a comfortable altitude of 2,500 meters. When they started off, they were about 30 kilometers from the border so that no one would capture them and no one would see their intention. When they were up in the air, the moisture from the clouds started settling on the balloon itself, which led to a premature landing of the balloon. They found themselves landing right next to the border on the East German side. So they never actually crossed. They were agonizingly 200 meters away from the finish line. Now they had to make a decision. What are they going to do? They ditched the balloon, hid incognito, somehow ran back to their car. They hiked over 20 kilometers in the darkness, made it back to their homes, and called in sick the next day. The balloon was discovered by the Soviet authorities, and both gentlemen were on their toes, figuring out what to do next. Here is when they have to make a choice. Either they can live under the radar and play not to lose, or they can play to win by trying again. The two of them did a lot more brainstorming to figure out what went wrong, what they could do better, how they could procure this material again, because the last time all the material was lost. So they go to a store and say that they are sailors and manage to procure another 1,000 meters of material for their sails. And now they managed to successfully build the balloon a second time. And with this new information, with the new flamethrowers that they built, they managed, 2 months later, they actually took off again. When they were off the ground, the flamethrower lit the balloon itself. And suddenly they found themselves in a flaming hot balloon. Fortunately for them, they had a fire extinguisher and they managed to take it out. They still managed to make the flight and reached just on the other side. It became huge, it became a world sensation the next day. A Soviet authority was interviewed the next day, and he said he saw a UFO, a burning UFO in the sky. And this is how they knew that they had gotten away with it. Dear Toastmasters, this is what playing to win means. It means when we have a situation, an impossible situation sometimes, we have to choose between playing not to lose and playing to win. We have to make that brave choice. About 100 years ago, one man made this brave choice. He started the first Toastmasters club. His name is Rajsi Smedley. He struggled for 20 years, not giving up on his vision, trying out different iterations of the product until it finally stuck. And that core vision that he had 100 years ago is still alive today and is hardly changed from the first meeting that happened then. For the benefit of the guests, let me take you through what a typical Toastmasters meeting looks like. It has 3 sections. First is the prepared speech section, where Toastmasters have prepared over the last few weeks to come and deliver a well-organized speech on a topic that they have been assigned. The second is the table topic session, where each person is put on the spot, and the Toastmaster of the day, the table topic master will give them a topic to challenge them for 2 minutes. And finally, the general evaluator will give us all feedback on how we have performed in this meeting. With that, I'd like to introduce our role takers for today who will help us in carrying on the meeting successfully. Let's start with our counter Toastmaster Rachana.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So these words fill our everyday vocabulary pretty naturally. It's hard to get rid of them. That's where the R counter comes in. I will track and record the pause words like and so, and the filler words or repeated words, and I will produce them at the end of the meeting. Back to you.
Next, let's move on to our timer, Toastmaster Rekha.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. My role as the timer is to keep the time for the speaker to ensure that the meeting runs on time. To help me do this, I have 3 colored cue cards. I will raise the green card when the speaker hits qualifying time. I will raise the yellow card when the speaker hits target time. And I will raise the red card when the speaker has reached the end of their allotted time. For example, for 5 to 7 minute speech, I shall raise the green card at the 5 minutes, the yellow card, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and the red card on 7 minutes. The speaker will also be granted a grace period of 30 seconds on the either side of speech. For table topic speech are 1 to 2 minutes, I will show the green card at 1 minute and the yellow card at 1.5 minute and the red card at 2 minutes. The speaker will have 30 seconds grace period after 2 minutes to wrap up his or her speech. I will present my report when called upon the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rekha. Next, let's hear from our grammarian Toastmaster Deepa.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to note down good usage of words and not so good usage of words. And it is also my responsibility to introduce word of the week, that is befaddle, meaning make unable think clearly. Usage, unclear ideas and mixed messages can befaddle a Toastmaster audience. I would encourage all the speakers to use word of the week, and I will give my report during general evaluation. Back to you.
Finally, let's hear it from our PP Evaluator Toastmaster Shreya.
Hello everyone, my role is PP. Make sure everyone will keep your phone on silent mode. Refrain from speaking on sex, religion and politics. Everyone will enter and exit only during an applause. Avoid cross talk, especially when someone is speaking behind the lectern. And I will give my report on general evaluation.
Now that all role takers are introduced, let's dive into the meat of the first session, which is the prepared speech session. Our first speech is a level 1 project 2 from the pathway presentation mastery. This speech is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Saketh. Can we please have the guidelines?
The project purpose, the purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Notes for the evaluator: the member completing this project is working to write a speech with purpose. The speech they create must be well written and clearly focused. Their goal is to meet their expressed purpose statement with a well executed speech. About the speech, the member will present a well organized and well delivered speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The speech content and style should work well together. Thank you.
Our first speaker is a tech lead at Bosch. She loves learning languages and she's joined Toastmasters to improve her public speaking and leadership skills. Let's give a thunderous round of applause to Toastmaster Jyothi with a speech titled Leadership Light in the Dark. Leadership Light in the Dark, Toastmaster Jyothi.
Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guests. Leadership. Leadership is about providing the right input at the right time. Today I am here to talk about my take on leadership. In our industry, challenges are not exceptions. They are integral part of the process. We work with complex systems and, most important, brilliant human minds. And where there is complexity and human involvement, there will be surprises. This is where true leadership shines. It's not about preventing the problem. That's almost impossible. What is important is how we react to the situation, how we learn from it, and how we move forward together as a team. Recently, I came across a simple story which inspired me. I would like to share it with you all. This story is of the olden times when there were no mobile phones. So there was this guy named Ravi who started working in a huge shipping warehouse. It was his first job and he was nervous as to how his team would be, how his leader, his manager would be. The shipping warehouse was very huge, full of people, everybody knowing what exactly to do. His supervisor, Mr. Sen, was not very loudest or the strictest person. He was very calm, quiet, almost invisible. But people really looked up to him. Ravi soon discovered why. One day, when the shift was almost coming to an end, there was a sudden power shutdown. The whole warehouse went dark. Workers stumbled, shouting, asking people to get a flashlight. The backup generator refused to start. It was difficult to find the exit through the mazes of boxes and shelves. And then, from the far end of the warehouse, there appeared a small light. It was Mr. Sen holding an old-fashioned lantern. He did not shout instructions. He did not tell anyone what to do. He simply held the lantern high and started walking towards the exit. And naturally, almost instinctively, everyone else followed. The light was small, but it was enough for everyone to get out to safety. That's what leadership is all about. It's about being the light in the dark. We all know how software development works, right? So we receive the requirements from the customer, we implement it, that means we code it, then we test it, and we deliver the software to the customer. On the customer end, they would perform some final checks. So a few months ago, my team also delivered a software in a similar fashion. And in a couple of days, I received a mail from the customer reporting that one of the critical features is not working as expected. It was a crisis situation. In such scenario, it's easy to find someone to blame, right? Who did the implementation? Did we do it right? Did we do enough testing? All such questions would arise. But in this scenario, blame is never helpful. What is needed is action. We had a defect, we had to fix it, and we had to fix it ASAP. And we hit another roadblock. The engineer who knew this part of the software really well, who had done the implementation of this feature, was on sick leave. We couldn't disturb him, we couldn't contact him. But as a team lead, I had to take this forward. So it was my job to assemble a squad of Ghostbusters to tackle this situation. So we identified a senior member of the team to take charge of the situation. We also formed a testing team. The testing team was on standby, ready to perform the fire drill. I mean, to test the code as soon as the fix arrives. The debugging was not easy. It was challenging. I realized that, and then I knew one person from the other team, an expert who was known for his troubleshooting technique. So I immediately took the permission of the senior management and brought in this person for the debugging. So this is how I held the lantern for my team to get the right help at the right time. And through the support of this expert, we could narrow down on the root cause of the problem. We delivered the updated software to the customer. The immediate crisis situation was over. But we were not done here. As a team, we sat down, we did post-mortem of the situation, understood how we could prevent such situations in future, how we could perform better as a team. So as a team, we not only fixed the defect, but we also proved that it's about our commitment to the customer. It's about our ability to deliver as a strong team. So as we saw in both the scenarios, the story and my personal experience, the essence of leadership is to provide the right input at the right time. Leadership is not about position, it's not about power, it's about the presence. It's that small act of guiding, listening, and showing up when it matters the most. Over to you,
Thank you for your beautiful words, Toastmaster. For our second speech today, we have a level 1 project 4. This speech is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Shreya. Can you please have the guidance?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Notes for the evaluator. If you know you will be the evaluator ahead of the meeting, communicate with the speaker to learn about them and their goals for their first evaluation and feedback project speech. Be sure to set aside enough time in your schedule to meet with the speaker after their speech to review the evaluation and answer any questions they may have. The member has spent time writing a speech to present at a club meeting. About this speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic. Focus on the member's speaking style. Be sure to recommend improvements that the member can apply to the next speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The member will ask you to evaluate the second speech at a future meeting. Thank you and all the best to the target.
Please note that this is a 3-part project. The first part is giving the speech itself. The second part is giving a speech based on the feedback, and the third part is actually giving an evaluation. So today he's attempting part 1. The speaker is a karate expert and a physiotherapist. He is the de facto back pain expert of Mekong Communication Club. So let's hear it for Dr. and Toastmaster Midhun. With the speech titled Self-Defense Without Fighting, Toastmaster Midhun.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. The ABC of self-defense is ACC. ABC stands for, A stands for attack, go, and counter. So, real self-defense, ABC of real self-defense is ACC. Awareness, confidence, calmness. Let me share a story. One day, one mother brought her child to my clinic. She was very worried that her son is getting injured over and over in his head. He is having constant headache, so she brought him to my clinic. She was very worried that she was speaking so nervous. Doctor, actually, my son is getting injured every time when he comes back from college. I don't know what really happens. Please help me. Oh, I said, okay, fine, I will help you. Let me understand what exactly is happening. She was telling that he always getting injured when coming back from college in his head, and then he's giving big headache for me as well. So please look into this and give him a suggestion. So I told her, please wait outside, let me have a check. I will speak to him and then get back. So she said, is everything all right? I said, yes, everything all right. Please wait outside. Let me talk to him and understand the problem. So she went outside and then I asked him, what really happened? Can you please tell me? I will promise you that I will not tell this to your mother. So he was very worried that I will speak everything to his mother, so he didn't want to tell the truth initially. So he requested not to tell to his mother, and then he told the story. He said, one day I was coming back from the college. On the way back, I was scrolling through my mobile, looking WhatsApp messages. Suddenly, somebody came, snatched my mobile and ran away. I got panicked, slipped and fell down and hit my head and got injured. Second time, I was coming back from the market buying vegetables. And then on the way, I was again watching, scrolling through videos in YouTube. Nobody was around me. I straight walked and hit my head into an electric pole, fell down again and got injured again. So I didn't want to tell this to my mother, but I told I have headache, constant headache I have, and I told her mother, that's why she brought me here. But please don't tell this to my mother. I again told I will not. And then I told him, I understood that the problem is not just about headache. So I assessed him for any injury. There was no major injury, but the constant headache was there. So I looked through all the medical thing and then gave treatment for the headache, and then I gave him a framework and I told him to follow A, C, C. So when you walk on the road, be aware. You need to look around when walking, and then second, you need to maintain your heads up, and then just your posture need to be maintained, and thirdly, you need to have calmness always. When any situation arises on the road, you need to be calm, so your response is going to be much better. So very important is the calmness. So I instructed everything to him and then told, please give me a call back in a week. You practice this and give me a call back in 1 week. I waited for the call, but unfortunately I did not receive any call. But I didn't push for the call also. And after 3 months, I again got a call from his mother, and mother told me that he is actually improved. He did not call, but I wanted to call and tell you what really has happened. So I asked him what exactly happened. Then she said, he has been going to college. Now he maintains his posture on the road. He does not use mobile phone. He has become a better person altogether. Thank you for it. So this incident reminded me one thing. Actually, the injury is actually caused by the first incident, the injury caused by someone else. Then second incident, the injury caused by himself. So this could have been prevented by one thing called awareness. So I actually focused on the awareness part. And finally, when his mother came back, one more thing it's reminded me is the awareness part, confidence part, and the calmness part. If we work, many injuries can be prevented. There is no fighting required. There is no any special training for self-defense required as such. So self-defense does not start with only with the confrontation. It can be prevented by three things called A, C, C. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember three things today. Awareness, confidence, and calmness. With this, you have already self-defense in your hand. With our Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Midhun, for ACC. For our third speech today, it is a level 2 project 3 of leadership development. The target speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ujwal. Can we have the project guidelines, please?
Namaste all. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring and to share some aspect of previous experience as a protege. The speech may discuss any aspect of the protege experience from his or her life, but the speech should not be a report on the content of Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring Project. Thank you, and back to the Master of Ceremonies.
Our third speaker is a graphic designer at Social Alpha. She loves sociology, and when she speaks here, she speaks with confidence and brings content that makes all of us smile and think 10 times about what we know. So let's hear it for Toastmaster Shubha with a speech titled The Guide Towards the Light. The Guide Towards the Light, Toastmaster Shubha.
How many of you here have woken up from a dream that you could never forget? Thank you. I was inside a cave. The next steps were completely uncertain. I had to think deeply, tread cautiously. I didn't know where to put my foot next. I was completely paralyzed. In that desperate situation in the dark, I listened. And that's when I saw stones that glowed and led the way into a brighter place. Reassuring steps that said, yes, this way. And that motivated me to move forward and go into the light. No fancy light at the end of the tunnel with all the answers. Just these guiding lights. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present.
Good evening.
I had graduated from a master's in visual communication and I joined my first job. I was buzzing with ideas. I was very impressed by them. But one problem, they got rejected right off the bat. I always wondered why this was happening. The industry was very fast-paced, result-oriented. And turns out, college taught me to think a lot, but developing skills was left to us. I was too slow to actually envision or bring my ideas into reality. And this disappointed me, demotivated me. Thoughts about my own creativity started to creep in. Is this fit to be a designer? I was paralyzed with the constant rejection. I didn't know what to do. When I was navigating all of this, I started working with a new team lead. Now she spoke in a language for the first time that I could understand. Often others would look at my creatives and say, this doesn't work. And that's when I didn't know how to proceed forward. But Anjana was different. She looked at my creative and said, hey, this is looking a bit flat and the text may not be very readable. Maybe you can try to add some texture in the background and increase the contrast. Now at first, even though I could understand the language that she was speaking in, it felt like an attack on my ideas. But realization hit when I listened and implemented her suggestion. And slowly, her articulate feedback gave me a sense of clarity, opened me to a world of possibilities, and rather than just getting fixated on a single big idea, I started to experiment more and thought of multiple ideas. Once, when I was just doing a day-to-day task, a bunch of reports had to be printed and sent to Delhi. My task in this was just sending the file for print to the print vendor. But I showed interest in knowing what were the next steps. How would the reports be transported to Delhi? What would be the cost? What is the process to make it all happen? She noticed that I went beyond my scope of work and tried to nurture this potential. There was an event coming up, a company event, and although she was the one in charge of the entire thing, I got the opportunity to do everything end to end with her having my back, open to discussing any doubts that I had. Through planning, budgeting, coordinating, I discovered for the first time for myself that I had this proactive side that was ready to run about and get things done. Now, going forward, I went into a phase where I was so addicted to her way of solving things that after a point I couldn't make my own decisions. Oh, A, B, C, and D are asking me to do this. Hello, Anjana, what should I do? Oh, I have to create a social media post in less than a day. Hello, Anjana, what am I going to do? Now, as time went by, I realized I was more amazed by how she was so patient with me, gave me my space at the same time, was ready to pick up my call, even though her time was probably, her bandwidth was probably stretched out. And a good protege maintains their boundaries and gives time to their mentors. Safe to say that I realized at that moment that it was time for me to take my own decisions and only consult her when necessary. I don't pick her brains like I used to anymore. She not only guided me along the way, she never hesitated to commend me where I succeeded. And this instilled self-belief and self-confidence. She worked a lot in solidifying my strengths, and at the same time, she was able to assess my weaknesses. To improve my communication skills, she was the one who recommended Toastmasters. And I'm very glad I listened to her and you see me before you all today. She guided me out of my own cave, self-constructed cave of self-doubt. And not only that, she equipped me to come out of any cave going forward. So, listen to your mentors, because you will not only start believing yourself, you will become a better version of yourself. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shubha. Wonderful speech. I hope you enjoyed the prepared speech session. Let's move on to the second section, the table topic session. Today's table topic master is a corporate leader. She's been doing the event managed business for over 20 years. Now she's a league leader and the ex-president of Mekon Communication Club. Please give a loud, thunderous round of applause to Toastmaster Latha.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests.
Good evening.
It feels really nice to come behind the lectern as a MTG role taker after a 6 months gap. Yes, now for the benefit of all the guests, table topic, nothing but we give a topic to the people in the room, other Toastmasters, and you need to come behind the lectern and speak for 1 to 2 minutes. We do not get time to prepare. It's more of an impromptu speaking what we do here. Very interesting topic lined up. So the first topic is define your me. Define your me. And this topic goes to distinguished Toastmaster A.K. Prabhakara.
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmaster, and welcome guest. I think, therefore I am. This is a famous quote by one French thinker. I am what I am because of what I think. If you remove me thinking, this is not A.K. Prabhakar, it can be somebody else. So what separates me out from others is some kind of a unique personality that, or something of a like and dislike I have in life, and that defines me. That definition comes from what I follow as my passion. Passion that I have is about understanding one single way for me is understanding how the world works, and I see the world through those lenses all the time. One such thing is that from a lot of early days, I'm curious about the science that has impact on society. The way we think, the way we operate, the way the world is made to work. So one thing that has always been there in place is that we develop new tools all the time to betterment of our society, our life. And if you take one such thing is that curiosity is that one example that I can give is one Shuji Nakamura. He was the researchers in Japan who was doing research on LED lamps. But to do that LED lamp, which was very elusive because they could never get the blue light out of LED. And he was told not to pursue that research in that corporation, Suji, that is the Machi Corporation, because they didn't see any end, the management didn't see any end, and money was going down the drain. But in his spare time, in personal capacity, he completed it and got finally a Nobel Prize for that. And the impact of that is Britain at one point had proposed 11 coal-fired thermal plants, all were cancelled. So this kind of thing, that small micro thing that changes the world, makes a huge macro impact is some kind of thing that I study, and this has been part of my life. In fact, some of the people here earlier ones, they said I always stick to in table topics about science and technology. In fact, that was some kind of a complaint made because I stick to that. But that is the way I am made. I am what I am because of what I think. Over to table topic.
Having kick-started superbly the table topics, moving on to the next topic, what we have, my victory speech. My victory speech. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Jyothi P.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Victory speech. At this point, I do not know what victory is. So victory could be what others see or what I see. And speech is what others think is good or what I think is good. So at this point I'm confused, which most of the time I am. Anyway, I've got an opportunity, something is nagging in my head and I want to just throw it out here. In the office today, one person's cell phone was not working. So he came and said, maybe from the HR department, cell phone, you can give it to me. I didn't want to because we get lots of phone calls. But then I said, okay, operations team wants it, so I gave it to him. He took it, I took some time to give that phone to him. So he came and said, Jyothi, please come to my office for a couple of minutes. I thought he's going to talk about something. He came, I went there. He said, see, because he gave the phone, I could connect it to the client and he started telling me something. I said, you don't have to justify. I know you have taken the phone because you have work to do. So he said, no, if you were cooperative, it would have been better. I said, I have been cooperative. I have given it to you. I do not want any more of your gyan, and I walked out. So, my talk for me was a victory. And for the other person, I'm not sure. So, thank you and thank you.
This was another side of victory speech, what we can think about. A very creative one though. The next topic. My opinion on never say die attitude. My opinion on never say die attitude. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Darshan.
Never say die.
Never say die attitude.
The first thing which came to my mind when I heard the topic was, it just works in movies, not in real life. In movies, we see a protagonist fail 100 times, but at the end of the movie, he doesn't die. For example, take a movie like War 2, something and all happens, but coming to real life, we can try once, twice, 3 times, 10 times. But at some point, we have to stop doing what we are doing because it doesn't work out. Say for example, at childhood, everyone parents wants you to be a chess player or a cricket player. You keep spending money, time, your age keeps running, your money keeps running out. But if you follow this attitude, never say die, at some point, it will only push you to your deathbed. So the most logical thing to do is, you need to explore your strengths, weakness and act accordingly. So you need to tone your strengths, and when it comes to your weakness, you need to stop. You need to do it as little as possible. So if your weakness is, say for example, you are not good at cricket, you are good at tennis, but you want to be better at cricket, it's not logical. So work on your strengths, and if you think something is your weakness, then it's better to avoid it. And yeah, thank you.
We had a very different take on never say die attitude. This is the first time I hear someone going against particular idiom. Now, the next topic is, what is the secret to success? What is the secret to success? And this topic goes to Toastmaster Deepa.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Secret to success. So I will tell my secret to my success. I think that can relate to everybody. So my secret for my success is, first thing is discipline. That is one first thing I always follow. For example, morning I wake up, I go to gym or I do meditation, 30 Surya Namaskaras, or I go to gym or I do meditation, and then that time, that discipline, and 9 o'clock I'll be at office and then I'll complete and on time everything doing things. That is one thing, one secret of my success. And the second secret is consistency. Whatever I do things, I do consistently. So that is second, secret of my success. And next secret of my success is my energy. Always I carry that positive attitude, positive energy in everything whatever I do. That has given me so many times, so many results. So whatever I'm gonna go do, I'll always say, no, this will gonna be good, or I'm gonna learn something, or it will reach me to a next level. So that is one third secret of my success. I think these successes is enough. Thank you so much, Latha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa, for sharing the success mantra, and hope all of us can follow it. Next topic. What would my failure speech be like? What would my failure speech be like? And this goes to Toastmaster Saketh.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. What would my failure speech
be like?
I'd say them join CA. Because the course itself is so tough that you'd end up failing at least one point. And maybe they'd get a reality check of not everything is a fairy tale in the real world. And more than that, I would just share my experience of how I just came across my failures and how lenient I was for my preparation for the exams and stuff. So if people could take that lesson, maybe they can come out of it and give it a try for a CA and clear it in their first go. So a normal person would learn from their own mistakes, but a wise person would also learn from others' mistakes and move ahead. So that would be my take on it. I hope everyone found it valuable. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saketh. Yes, CA is very tough. On the next topic, what is that one big risk you took that paid off? What is that one big risk that you took paid off? And this goes to Toastmaster Rekha. So what is that one big risk that you took paid off? Paid off means it came out successfully.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. I have taken many risks, but one risk I would like to share, that is my education, which was incompleted. After my marriage, I have completed my education. That was a big challenge for me, but I did it. And today I feel very happy because I'm here because of my education. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear Toastmaster Rekha. Indeed, a very risky thing what you have done, and good it paid you off well. Our next topic. What does winning mean to you? What does winning mean to you? Toastmaster Adeshwar.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome dear guests. What does winning mean to me? Okay, so let me tell you a story. I was 14 years old and I used to go for table tennis classes every day, regular classes. And that sir was like, you're playing good, be consistent. I'm like, yes sir, I'll be consistent and I love this game, I'll start playing it regularly. And after a month or couple of months, there was a tournament, under 18 tournament. So that sir was like,
why don't you just register for yourself? I'm like, sir, it's just been 2 months. What are you saying? I'm going to lose the first match I play. All our seniors here, and it's under 18. It's not a joke. Like, just give it a try. I know how you're playing. I'm the coach. Just listen. I'm like, okay, fine. It's anyway a club level tournament. I just thought it's a club level tournament, and I registered. Then he tells, it's not a club level tournament. It's an inter club level. I was like, sir, why didn't you tell me this before? More embarrassment now. Like, don't think about it. Anyway, you think you're going to lose. Then what's the fear? What are you going to lose more? Because you know you're going to lose. Why do you care what others will think about you? Anyway, you're the youngest here. I'm like, yeah, he has a point. I just play my game and I play it off. So the tournament day comes. I just tell my mom that today we have a tournament. And I tell her it's an under 18 tournament. Obviously, I'm going to lose the first match. I'll come by lunch. She tells, okay, fine. She didn't think that, even she thought I'm just telling the truth because she didn't expect me to win or something. Like, yeah, fine. And then I see all big players, 16 years, 17 years, 18 years, full geared up, new bats, new rackets, all advanced rackets. And mine was the basic racket. So I'm like, okay, fine. And then I get to play my first match with 0 hopes. I play my game. You know, I was just 2 months amateur player. You play forehand like this and backhand like this. I used to play backhand like this. So that level, that kind of player I was playing. Surprisingly, I win 3 in 3 matches. Group stage cleared. I'm in quarterfinals. And my mother calls to my sir. Sir, did he come there today? Because he hasn't come home yet. He told he'll be back in some half an hour. Ma'am, he has reached quarterfinals. My mother was shocked. Sir, really? I'm coming. And then quarterfinals match begins. So, no hopes. And then first set, I lose my first set. And suddenly I see my mother. And I'm like, oh my god, now she's recording. And I'm like, okay, fine. Now I got to show who I am. And I win the second set. Now my mother is like, come on, you can do this. I'll do video call to the family group. I'm like, what is wrong with you? That video is not enough, that you do a video call. My live match you will show. And I don't know what miracle happened. I win that. I go to semi-final, I win semi-final. And now it's finals. My mother is, you know, she is thought that I'm going to win final also that day. But final guy, he had practiced for over 4 years. And I really had no hopes, but winning 6 matches with having 0 hopes of winning 1 match, I played that game. Unfortunately, I lost the finals. But that day, everyone congratulated me that you being the youngest player here and you gave your best. So that was the best winning moment I could have, and that day was the best day I could say. Thank you.
Toastmaster Adeshwar, I think your mother and that video call the motivation for you to win all the 6 matches. More than confidence on yourself. Now the next topic is, what is worse? Fear of failing or never trying? What is worse? Fear of failing or never trying? This goes to Toastmaster Shreya.
I think both are worse. Because 2 weeks ago I had my HDR exam. It's practical exam coding. There were 20 experiments and I studied only 17. I'm thinking that only 15% are possibility of getting 70 experiments. So I went and randomly I chose one booklet. I got 18. I have one option, another option to choose change of experiment. They will deduct my 15 marks out of 50. So I took another booklet and I got 20. So I'm I think it's one of the worst unlucky person. And I think reason is I'm not studied that, I'm not trying. The 3 experiments I didn't plan, but today I had external today, but I got something like 9th experiment, I did it well.
The story of every engineer. Okay, coming to the second last topic for the day. Last topic of the day. Have you done anything lately worth remembering? Have you done anything lately worth remembering? Any of our guests can attempt this. I would request any of our yes, please.
fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. So my topic is, have you done anything lately worth remembering? So in 2014, during my CC Competent Communicator Manual, I had given a speech, make your passion your profession and you don't work a single day. And I had given examples of Shankar Mahadevan from the music industry and Dr. Aditi Govitrikar, who moved from actual doctor to a fashion model into the advertising field. But in June 2023, I did my ICF, that is International Coaching Federation Life Executive and Business Coach and Corporate Trainer certification. And one key point I remember from that, my coach and mentor, founder of ILA, Kaushik Mahapatra, saying, if you go alone, you will take time to win, but you can collaborate, you can win together, because there is no I in team. So I formed a team and I started BrainQ Digital Training and Coaching Inc. So that is a wonderful decision I have made, and that aligns with this topic. Yes, over to you.
Thank you so much. I hope you all had a wonderful table topic session, a lot of learning. Play to win is an attitude where we never give up, come what may. We are playing not to lose, but we are playing to win. On this note, I would like to hand over back to our MC of the day, Toastmaster Chetan.
Thank you for the wonderful session, Toastmaster Latha. Let us break for 5 minutes? Okay. 5 minutes. Okay, let's have a 5-minute break. Alright, I'm happy you're all enjoying your snacks. Let's get back to business now. I'm seeing a lot of defeatist attitude in the air in the industry nowadays with all AI coming in. People are thinking, hey, is this going to take my job away? But I read a very encouraging article today that said the A in AGI stands for ads. So don't worry, your jobs are safe. To take over, today's third session is all about feedback. To deliver that feedback is a seasoned Toastmaster. He's been here for over 25 years. He's a founding member of the club. And when he speaks with authority. He also speaks humorously if he chooses to. Let's give it up for distinguished Toastmaster M.U. Bhat.
Don't mind. My problem is I wear hearing aid. If I don't wear it, I can't hear you. But if I wear it, you can't hear me. My problem is that because I tend to speak slower. That's why I'm just trying to monitor how I fare. Anyway, thank you, Toastmaster, for that wonderful introduction. For the benefit of our guest, as he said, general evaluation is about the feedback session. Feedback about what went well in the meeting and some minor areas of improvement wherever is there. Today I liked very much the response of Darshan on table topics. You know, he concentrated on how building on one's strength is more important than overcoming your weakness. Because why I'm telling you this is, today I got an email from one, James Clear of Atomic Habits. He has sent a message, I think he sent to most of you, I think. For success, your first task is to find what feels effortless to you. First task is to do what effortless to you. Your second task is to put maximum effort in that. So probably this idea he got from Toastmasters. Because that is how our Toastmasters evaluation is built on. What is called the sandwich technique. Where you put the two better points, or where each person excelled or did better, and maybe a thin slice of what area of improvement is required. so that you can build on that. But the stress is on building up your own strengths. That's how we'll go about. So let's drive straight into the evaluation mode, which started at slightly later, about 6:25. After a brief business session with the two announcements regarding the next meeting being postponed by a day, and the roles for the next meeting, and also about the international speech contest and evaluation contest on 16th February. Sergeant at Arms took over. Sachin, I really liked your the way you presented your opened the meeting rather with a powerful voice. I really liked it, the way you did it, and the sentence which I take home is play for not just to survive but thrive. That's what thought you brought about. Very nice and good, very nice introduction. Only probably you can be more impromptu in introducing the president and rather read out from Bhat library. There is only suggestion I can give you. But wonderful job done. Let's give a round of applause for Then President took over, and there was an introduction of guests. We are very fortunate to have today 6 guests, I think, come, right? 6 guests. There is something really amazing, very nice of us to have that kind of. That shows probably our word of mouth is spreading fast regarding our club performance, which is one of the finest clubs in India today in Toastmasters fraternity. So thanks all the guests for to come. And if you feel like probably after attending a couple of meetings, you may feel like joining, you can talk to our VP membership for joining the club. So President talked about, she has told about the story about college days, some winning, about how the point got changed and all that. Very nicely to narrate a story which drove home the point regarding you have to not only use it as a metaphor, playing to win is a metaphor, but use it literally in your playing the game. Wonderful speech. Let's give a round of applause to our President. Before I proceed, probably you can all feel the best speaker and best tabletop speaker, so that you are not influenced by the evaluators. There were 3 speeches today. The first one was the level 1 project 2. It's about leadership light in the dark, delivered by Jyothi, evaluated by Toastmaster Saketh. Can I have your evaluation, sir?
Leadership is about giving right inputs at right time. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Jyothi. It is very evident that you have put in a lot of effort for the speech and that you have practiced for the speech. Your language was very simple and the usage of words was excellent. And the speech was flawless, and I could see that you didn't have any repeated words or any crutch words. So I got an approval from the accountant as well. And you had a very good eye contact. Your focus was on everyone. And you used a sandwich method. The opening, you started with the hook that leadership is about giving right inputs at right time. And your message was very clear and you conveyed the same to the audience as well. That is leadership. And you spoke about 2 events. One about a warehouse and Ravi, where a generator broke down and with his lantern, he guided everyone to the exit. And that story, you connected very well to the speech title, that is Leadership, Light in the Dark, which is amazing. And the second story was about a situation you faced at work, how a situation came up and how you handled it, and after the effect you reviewed what went wrong. So, and you also ended your speech very well. You again ended with an opening hook, and second, leadership is not about position or power, it's about the presence in the right situation. And these are something, and your speech was really good. I really loved it. And you also had a very good opening body and conclusion, you follow that structure. Maybe these are nitpicks, but where you can work upon is that you had a pause. Like everyone gives pauses in their speech, but it is also evident when you give a pause, a long pause, it is evident that you are trying to recollect your speech. Somewhere between the first and the second story, you had a pause, trying to reflect on where you stop and where you have to go ahead. Maybe you can work a little bit more on your practice. That is one. Second, somewhere at the beginning of your speech, you said the industry you work in needs more focus. Maybe for the context of this speech, maybe if you could give a little background of your professional work, maybe it would have connected the audience even more. And overall, your whole speech was for 6 minutes and 8 seconds, while the speech allotted was for 5 to 7. Maybe, again, this is a nitpick. You can work upon giving your speech till the 7th minute, and you also have 30 seconds grace. So this is something that you can work upon, give an entire 7-minute speech. Overall, you delivered a well-structured with a defined purpose, and you conveyed that to everyone. And I'm looking forward for more speeches from you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saketh. Wonderful evaluation. You brought about what you did really well, and some areas of improvement which were really valid points what you had raised. And one thing, ma'am, I take home today is providing right leadership is providing right input at the right time. That's the thought I'm taking home today. Wonderful speech. Let's give a big round of applause to both our evaluator and speaker. One thing I want to just share with you that my monitoring did work, because now I come to know that I speak way too slow. My voice has come down. It shows about 62, whereas 76 decibel is what average speakers are speaking here. It's really good. So I think I have to do something to make myself uncomfortable and start speaking louder, even though I feel deafened voice in my ears. Now, second speech is level 1, project 4, delivered by Shreya, Midhun, and evaluated by Toastmaster Shreya. Can I have your evaluation now?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, and a special good evening to the target speaker, Toastmaster Midhun. So, coming to the evaluation, I want to divide this evaluation into 3 parts: where you went well, where you could improve, and things that you could do to challenge yourself. Starting with where you went well, I liked your opening and conclusion of the speech. Your opening was very creative with a bit of humor in it. The ABCs of self-defense are A, C, and C, and immediately there were giggles throughout the room. I also liked your conclusion. You ended your speech with the most important takeaway from it, and it was definitely very impactful. The second thing that I think you did very well was the loudness of your voice. So, you just gave a speech last week, and compared that, I think that your voice, the level of your voice was very, very loud in the places where it needed to be loud, and it was soft in the places where it needed to be soft. For example, when the son was in panic, you said panic, and when you were trying to calm the mother down, your voice had a very calming nature to it. So I think you did that well. The third thing I think you did well was body language. The body language that you used, I felt was very meaningful. For example, that attack pose that you did in the beginning, headache, hitting the pole, scrolling through the phone. And I also think that you made very good use of dialogue in the speech. Instead of just narrating it as a story, you kind of narrated it from the perspective of the characters. I think that was well done. Now, moving to where you can improve, the first thing I think is eye contact. I noticed that throughout your speech, your eye contact was mostly centered like in the middle of the room, whereas it should kind of be flowing throughout the entirety of the room. So maybe you can choose 3 different points that you want to focus on throughout your speech, and that will kind of take your eyesight throughout the room. The second thing is pacing. So sometimes I felt it was difficult to feel the impact of your statements because you were just powering through them. So if you have a statement that you want us to feel, or you want to let us feel the impact of that, then give a pause before it. or give a pause after it to let us kind of take in what you said. And the third thing is, I felt that you used the stage well, but it felt very off-center since you were using this part of the stage and the space behind the lectern, and I hardly saw you use this part of the stage. So I think removing the lectern during your speech would make you use the center part of the stage more than being off-center. So I think that is maybe one thing that you can do next time. Where you can challenge yourself, you modulated the volume of your voice very well, and the next thing that you can do is modulate the tone. For example, different characters can have a different tone of voice. And the second thing is using no script, because I think you can do it at this point. You were able to go through most of your speech without it, and so I don't think you need it anymore. Thank you, and back to the general rally.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya, for that wonderful evaluation. I think you followed that three-part evaluation where he did really well, and the area where he can improve himself and where he can challenge. All the points came up very well. And as for Midhun, I really liked Midhun. I think I really liked your speech. And the thought which I am going home today is the first line of defense is ACC, awareness, confidence and calmness. That should be always the first line of defense in any situation. Great message. Congratulations. Let's give a big round of applause to both the speakers. The third speech was level 2 project 3 delivered by Toastmaster Shubha and evaluated by Toastmaster Ujwal. Can I have your evaluation, sir?
Namaste fellow Toastmasters, fabulous friends and familiar faces, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Shubha. What a beautiful crafting of an anecdote. I was mesmerized. Was this a story about a mentee and a mentor, or was I in a fantasy world? A beautiful start to a wonderful speech. Here are a few things that went really great in your speech. The hook and the message towards the end. The first 10 seconds of any speech are what determine whether the audience pay attention to you or are lost. And the first 10 seconds of your speech were crafted beautifully to capture the attention of every single member present here. And the last 10 seconds of a speech determines what the audience take home, or if it's a story that is lost in the depths of a mind. But with a strong message and the conclusion towards the end, you ensured that the message left with us, not leaving as you left the stage. The second thing that went really well was your anecdote, as I initially mentioned. With that anecdote, you had us captured as to how is this getting connected to what we knew was coming. And that helped you connect better with the audience. All the more with audience interaction of asking just a very simple question. The third thing that went really well in your speech was the simple flow to follow. Throughout your speech, you had a very simple flow. And as the audience, it is very easy to follow something where we don't have to pay extra attention to understand what is being said. Here are a few things that I think can help you take your speech to the next level. Starting off with, how do you find this? And that motivated me to move forwards. Versus, and that motivated me to move forwards. I believe at every 3 words, you tend to take a pause in your speech, and that breaks the progression of your speech and requires the audience to put in a little more effort to understand whether that was an intentional pause, whether that was a break in the thought process, or was it an intentional pause. I recommend that you do not do that, rather end your sentences and then take a breath or a pause. The second thing is your voice modulation. Then you said, this doesn't work. Putting in a little more voice modulation into that. This doesn't work! Would have made a lot more impact. And is this fit to be a designer? Adds a lot more emotional connect. Rather than being flat, is this fit to be a designer? The third thing that you could have improved is using your gestures. You were using generic open-handed gestures throughout, except in a few places. And I would like to mention that you could have used print and forward as a body gesture to mention forward, and although she was in charge, utilizing your gestures much better. In summary, you had a great hook and a conclusion, a great story anecdote, and a very simple flow to follow. Here are the few things that you could work towards are to take a pause after the sentence and not at every 3 words, work on your voice modulations, and better on gestures. With that, I wish you all the very best for your future speeches, and back to our general evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ujwal, for that very accurate and wonderful evaluation. Particularly like the way you showed the way forward, the areas of improvement, where you really literally demonstrated, both in the areas of voice modulation as well as your pauses, how to take a pause. Wonderful, but that is what is required of an evaluator. Wonderful job done. And as for your speech, ma'am, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. And the thought which I am taking home today is listen to your mentors to become a better version of yourself. I really liked it, the message you are carrying home. Wonderful speech and wonderful evaluation. Let's give a round of applause to both the speakers. After that, we had a wonderful table topic session by the veteran Toastmaster Latha, and she explained, first of all, what she did really well was she has got a powerful voice which she used it to advantage, and you explained how the table topic speaker works, and your speech topics per se were of, is elicited very good response, as you can see from the response what is indicated. Very nice, but slightly of the higher order effect for some of the newcomers, but only 1% were not happy with the response, otherwise everybody did quite well. What I really liked about your session was how you connected one speech to the next speech. That was a really good thing which you have learned, and you have done a wonderful job done. I think for that wonderful job done, let's give a round of applause to our table topic master. Now we'll get to the report from the role takers. First, the R counter Toastmaster Rachna.
Thank you, General Evaluator. To avoid befuddling your audience, reduce the number of R's, and filler words and touch words. But looking at my sheet today, I think everyone followed this rule. It looks pretty empty, so no one in the audience is befuddled, I can say for sure. Anyway, here's my report. Sergeant at Arms Sachin, Toastmaster Sachin, flawless. The President, Toastmaster Apoorva, flawless. Toastmaster Chetan had the crutch words and. The timer Toastmaster Rekha had 1 hour. Toastmaster Rachna had a couple of hours. Toastmaster Deepa, flawless. Toastmaster Shreya, flawless. Speaker 1, Toastmaster Jyothi, flawless, no crutch words, no filler words. The evaluator, Toastmaster Saketh, flawless. Some crutch words though, in terms of and, so, and really. Toastmaster Midhun, flawless. Some crutch words in the form of so, I, and. Toastmaster Shreya, 3 ums. Toastmaster Shubha, 3 ums. Toastmaster Ujwal, flawless. Toastmaster Latha, the table topics, flawless. Here are the table topic speakers. DTM AK Prabhakara, flawless. Toastmaster Jyothi, 3 hours. Toastmaster Darshan, flawless, but some crutch words, so and. Toastmaster Deepa, 2 hours. Toastmaster Saketh, flawless, with some crutch words, and so. Toastmaster Rekha, flawless. Toastmaster Adishwar, the crutch word okay was used a couple of times. Toastmaster Shreya, flawless. The guest was flawless as well. And the general evaluator, DTM MU Bhat, 2 hours so far. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that meticulous R count. Let me come to the timer Toastmaster Rekha. Can I have your report?
So my timer report today Meeting commenced at 6 o'clock, 6:25. Welcome by Sergeant Sachin. 2 minutes 40 seconds. President address 6 minutes 28 seconds. Previous report on previous meeting. Ujwal, Toastmaster Ujwal, 1 minute 59 seconds. And speakers project Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Chetan. And today's project speaker, Toastmaster Jyothi P. Time taken 6 minutes 8 seconds. Speaker Toastmaster Midhun. Time taken 7 minutes 3 seconds. Toastmaster Shubha. Time taken 7 minutes 8 seconds. And Toastmaster Evaluator Saketh, time taken 3 minutes 21 seconds. Evaluator Toastmaster Shreya, time taken 3 minutes 13 seconds. Evaluator Toastmaster Ujwal, time taken 3 minutes 29 seconds. And today's table topic master Latha, Nihar, and number of total topics member have spoken, nine members. So remaining table topics have been written on the board. Please do check. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dika, for that accurate timekeeping. Not less to the report of Parliamentary Procedure Evaluators, Toastmaster Shreya.
Here are my reports. During the meeting, a few members entered and exit thereon. Members are requested to avoid avoidable entry and exit during the proceedings. Otherwise, the proceedings were orderly, with no phone interruption and no discussion on sex, religion or politics. And that is my report.
Thank you, Toastmaster CS. So finally, let's get the report from the grammarian Toastmaster Deepa.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Here is the grammarian report. Good usage of words: skeptical, overwhelming, zeal of energy, nail-biting, wildfire, relentlessly, core vision, stumbled, right help at the right time, and ACC, aware, confidence and calmness, buzzing with ideas, articulate, parallelize, nurture, self-belief and self-confidence. Listen to your mentor for a better version of your life. I think, therefore I am. Snagging in my head. Not everything is fairy tale. Narrated is story, anecdote. And word of the week used by only Toastmaster Rachna. I would encourage everyone to use word of the week. That's my report. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepa. One highlight of this role taker's role is everybody has done a very, very meticulous job. Doing everything as per the textbook, whatever has been specified, wonderful job done. I don't have any specific suggestion, only I think Latha, you missed about talking about evaluation timings. 2 to 3 minutes. That's the only thing you missed. It's all right because you're first time you're doing the role. Otherwise, a wonderful role taking is a great job because you are sacrificing your time and effort for improving others. Great job. I think this give a round of applause to all the role takers. Finally, our master of ceremony. You know, each meeting, one thing I find you is you are improving in leaps and bounds. First time I told you to show me a message regarding the sound level. Today also I measured your sound level. It was 77, which is something really amazing. Very nice. You have improved a lot. Your connection, your way you have conducted yourself behind the lectern. Really a master ceremony. Wonderful job done. Your story also came out well, and the interconnection to the Toastmasters regarding that team, that also came out. Your story also regarding the balloon crossing the came out really quite well. I really liked it. So the lesson which you gave me today is when you have to face a situation, that's the message you wanted to give, came out very well. And what I really liked was your introduction to the various speakers, what you do, that because you have taken, shows your effort you have taken behind the scenes, which is required for a master ceremony. The amazing job done. I thoroughly enjoyed the way you did it today, and all the best to you for your future assignments. So let's give a big round of applause to our master ceremony. Overall, lot of lessons, lot of messages to learn. We have taken so many points. I really thoroughly enjoyed today's proceedings very well. One lesson I learned for myself is about my own voice level, which is far too low to my standard, because without my hearing aid, I was speaking, people are telling me to talk too loud. Now I am speaking too low. That's my problem. In fact, I came to know why I used this was because my wife started complaining that she can't hear me. And Teacher Prabhakar also complained. We are staying next to, driving together to office, and he said, I can't hear you. That's why I came to know. My wife, when he complained, I started quite serious. No, I know she doesn't listen to me, but she can't hear also now. So that's the problem. So now I think I should work on my hearing level, make even at the cost of making myself uncomfortable with the hearing aids on. But wonderful, what I liked today was a wonderful session, thoroughly enjoyed, great meeting, a perfect Toastmasters meeting as you can, and for the benefit of for the guests, I can only request that you attend a couple of more meetings probably and make up your mind. If the right place you can join, please join our talk to our VP membership. She will help you out in joining. So I hope you had a great time today. So please keep coming. So with that, back to Master Ceremony.
I hope everyone has voted. If we have, let's let the charge back to the president.
I request everybody to vote. Overall, like our general evaluator mentioned, DDM Evaluator mentioned, it was a great meeting, a full house, and it's always nice to see more people attending regularly. I request every Toastmaster to attend our meetings regularly. And coming to the winners of the week, the best table topic speaker is someone who said that let's all focus on our strengths and ignore the weaknesses. Please give it up to Toastmaster Darshan. The best evaluator, well, there has been a tie. Toastmaster Ujwal and Toastmaster Shreya. Best TAPG role taker goes to our counter for the day, Toastmaster Rachna.
best MTG role taker is
someone who gave this team the storyteller, Toastmaster Chetan.
the best speaker
Goes to Toastmaster Jyothi P. Fellow Toastmasters, playing to win is not about defeating others. It's about it's about learning, growing, and playing to win is about showing up even when we don't, we go against the odds or when it is difficult to survive. Let's all remember to take chances, to make most of the opportunities that is presented to us. That way success will follow. On that note, I would like to close meeting number 1351.